Good evening. We'll call the meeting order with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the January 17th, 2017 Fisher City Council meeting, our first council meeting of the year. We have some special guests here tonight. Announcements: Fisher's Junior High We the People State Champions. Do we have some? I think we got a few of them here tonight, huh? Anyone that's a spokesperson for the group want to come up and say a few words?
Mike, you want to come up and
Sure.
share for? I mean, you never talk in front of anybody, so I don't know
I
what.
know,
You
and
know.
I try to avoid it all the time. That's why I hired all of them. Now they're making fun of me because your microphone's a little high. I think what they're saying is I'm short. These are my 31 champions, but not all 31 of them are here. We have basketball players that are in Carmel. And so the girls' basketball team's out there, so they're there. My boys made it, though. We've done this we've been recognized 2 times in a row, and we've had a boys' basketball game, and they come cruising in at the last possible second, but they make it. This is a first for us. Indiana's had a state competition for, I think, this was the 7th year. It had been dominated every year by one team, Brown County. They have a wonderful teacher down there, Mike Potts. He's a nationally recognized social studies teacher. But he is amazing, and we had finished second to them in the 3rd year. In the 3 years we had done it, I'm sorry, in our first 2 years, but this year we finally beat them. And so we get the chance to go to DC and compete where there's lots of competition out there for us. But we are the only junior high level team in Hamilton County right now. And so I'm of the belief that iron sharpens iron, and I love for there to be more teams from Hamilton County. But these are my champion kids right here. And so if we don't mind clapping for them, they would love it. We are leaving in April, and some of you know that we are raising money, and I know that because a lot of you, I've seen your names, and I appreciate that. It took me a second to recognize some of you. Some of you I've known for a long time because your kids came through our building. Some of you still have kids in my building, and I appreciate that. The support by the city has been great. Some of you have been involved in the mud sock competition and have seen that. I highly encourage you to do that, and we will have a run before we go to nationals. And I would love to have some of you come judge. Todd has come and spoke to my kids. I've asked Eric to come speak to my kids. We get asked questions on federalism a lot, and I think sometimes, people get caught up in the fact that it's only national to state. But Todd did a wonderful job explaining to my kids how we balance that. Todd Houston's coming to talk to my kids. We'll be talking to him about the same thing. The idea of having a local government representative come talk to us is important. And so this is my clever way of inviting you to come to my class. But
He has a seat. He has a seat. You sit there. It's like a throne.
It is. I stole it many years ago.
Yeah.
They're meant to be steps, but I put a little cushion on them. You can sit there. My kids will have questions for you. But what they really want to know is, I tell them all politics is local, to use the old Tip O'Neill quote. But the idea is for them, I can say it, but you can prove it. And I think that's important for them to understand of how the decisions made here affects them. And more importantly, how they, even at their age, their opinions can affect others. Because if you ask them, they would like you to work diligently to lower the voting age to exactly the age they are. Because they would do that in a heartbeat. They are my educated voters. They can tell you, I side with, if you've ever used that, they've all I sided with. And they take the long version, so you can't just cheat out on the 20-minute version. You got to do the long version. So they're pretty aware kids, but there's things that they would like to know. All right. If you have questions, I'll answer them from you. And what I normally do is just drag a kid if you have something you would like to say.
Well, I know. I appreciate. I came in. I think I had the fortunate or unfortunate timing of right after the presidential election was done. So it was either the day after or whatever. But I tell you, I know a lot of you parents are here, how proud I am of them, the way they handled themselves and their questions and a lot of their anxieties, quite frankly. There was a lot of things they hear in the news and they see all sorts of stuff and got scared of what the future of the country is for whatever, wherever they were hearing all this stuff. And for them, they were really composed. They looked at things in a pragmatic way. They were able to really ask great questions, and I just hope that our country is filled with people like that. And I think that's is just, Mike, what you do or for the community, for the kids, and Fishers Junior High is tremendous. I know I've got my oldest son has gone through your class, and so I really appreciate that. So just to the parents here, though, I really commend you for raising great young people that are going to serve this community for a long time.
They're getting a little taste of your job because they're rewriting the Constitution. They're having their own mini constitutional convention right now, and what they're finding is it's hard.
And Mike, my only comment would be, it sounds great. Congratulations to all of you guys. You should all be very, very proud. All of us on the council we're on the website for the city, and we all have resumes on there. I believe they should be updated, at least my knowledge is. All of our contact information is there. Reach out. I'd love to go ahead and be part of whatever we can try to help you with.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that because, it provides credibility to us when we can reference talking to someone. Because they're not allowed to give their opinion. They can only give the opinion that they can support. And so it helps them when they can echo the words from the past, but when they can echo the words of the current, it carries weight with them. And it also carries weight, not just in the judges, that's not my end goal, but it also, you can get an opinion anywhere, but an educated opinion is a way different thing. And they work really hard at that.
What's the cost per student to get out to DC?
Roughly $1,418.
Yeah.
Would you like to know exactly what our bill is right now?
I think we're going to get
right around 40,000. Is
It's
that
a little
about
over $47,000.
Yeah, so $47,000. They just all of a sudden had to figure out how to raise because weren't sure they were going to win this, and so that's a hefty price. So they have a GoFundMe site. I don't remember the name of it. It's Fishers Junior High. We the People.
Yeah, GoFundMe, Fisher Junior High, We the People. And so many of you have already done that, and that means a lot to us. It's funny, we've had 100, Shannon, do you remember how many individual donations? Is it like 160? Well, that's pretty amazing in this community. We've had donations of $10 by a kid we taught last year, and to kids that I taught in 1997. And that do that. It's fun to see that, and to me, it speaks to the support that we have in the community.
Yeah. So it's a great investment. So if you can find that GoFundMe, it'll help them out a lot.
Right. We don't want to take any more of your time unless you have a question that I'll answer.
Just a comment. Certainly, I appreciate and congratulations on a great achievement. But I'm sure these are very articulate young people, which is great.
You want to talk to one of them?
Yeah, see about because my daughter was in. If anyone knows my middle daughter, you realize how articulate she can be, and she's involved in politics right now, chair of the Indiana Young Republicans. So it's great to see you folks, and you've got so much great things in store for you. And thank you for all your hard work and your efforts. We're very proud of you.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations. Eric? Yes, sir.
Yeah, one thing that ties directly into this, and unfortunately Cecilia Coble couldn't be here tonight. She is instrumental in this, but wanted me to briefly mention about the Constitution 101 class that's starting Wednesday, February 22nd at 6:30 at Saxony Hall. It's taught by Robert Lemming, director of the We the People program, Center for Civic Education. I believe it is sold out, but there is a waiting list, so if you guys are interested in signing up for the Constitution 101 class, I think it meets for 6 weeks, if I remember correctly, so February through March, but she had just asked me to say something about that tonight.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you all again. We have two other presentations tonight. Our first one tonight is the Hamilton County Commissioner's presentation. We have our three county commissioners here today to be with us, and certainly welcome to the three of you.
Good evening, Mayor Fadness, President Weingart, members of the council. Thank you for having us here this evening. My name is Commissioner Mark Hairbrandt. I'm joined here by Commissioners Steve Dillinger and Commissioner Christine Altman. We're here tonight to share with you an award that we received recently from the Association of Indiana Counties for teamwork and collaboration for the State Road 37 Improvement Project. Hamilton County, the City of Fishers, the City of Noblesville, and the State of Indiana are all contributing funds to help relieve congestion, improve traffic commutes for our citizens, as well as improve the safety along this corridor. This project's unique in the fact that we really fought to get local control over here, and the City of Fishers will be managing all the construction on here. This was put in place really to help us to have an effective communication plan with the residents as well as the business owners, especially during the construction impact that everyone's going to have during this. I just wanted to tell you, on behalf of the commissioners, we have all appreciated the relationship that we do share here with the city and the administration. I think that we've been able to, at least I know in my last 4 years, collaborate on a lot of different projects, whether it's the economic impact of the airport that you're soon going to see, other road improvement projects, drainage projects. You'll soon hear some parks improvement projects. And I just want to tell you that we really do appreciate that relationship that we do. And we understand that to get things done, we're more effective as a team rather than just going individually after these efforts. At this time, I'd like to present you with the 2016 Association of Indiana Counties Local Cooperation Award.
If I could add a little color commentary here with the commissioners still in the room. Nothing of significance gets done by an individual. It usually takes a collective effort. And I can tell you Commissioner Hairbrandt was a utter pit bull when it came to getting 37 done, and it was a real pleasure working with him to try to accomplish that. And I can tell you Commissioner Dillinger's leadership with the Indianapolis Airport Authority put almost 17% more land back into commercial development in our city, which I think fundamentally changes our financial sustainability for the future. And Commissioner Altman is always willing to sit down and have a conversation. Even if some of the ideas aren't her favorite, she's willing to hear you out, which I appreciate. And I can tell you, since I've become mayor and worked for the town, even predating that, these three individuals, we may not always see eye to eye, but there's always an open line of communication. And it's just been, we've done some really impressive work together. 106th Street Interchange, they were a major player in that. And then you look at what's happening with State Road 37, the parks. It's just been, I think, an intergovernmental relationship that should be a model for a lot of different folks. And I appreciate their efforts. They're all over the county, and they've got lots of people they got to answer to. Every time they do something in Fishers, somebody in Carmel says, "Why'd you do it in Fishers?" And that's something, that's the challenge. But thank you guys all for your efforts. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for the partnership. It's been wonderful. Moving on to our next presentation, we have some service awards.
Yeah, we have a number of them, actually, President Weingart. I think we'll start with the police department has 2 service awards that they would like to issue, and ask Chief Thompson to come forward.
Good evening, members of the council. For the record, I'm Mitch Thompson, Chief of Police for Fishers Police Department. I have before you tonight, and for the audience, a special award. It's 20 years of service for Detective Lieutenant Cameron Ellison. A little history about Cameron. I always like telling the story of where people come from. Before Cameron came to us, January of 1997, and Mr. DeReamer, you're like this. This is another Greenfield steal. Yeah, Cameron did 4.5 years with Greenfield Police Department, and he came to us and ready to go. And as somebody who had the pleasure of training with Cameron back in those days, it was an easy transition. I think he smoked right through our training process and was very evident that he was a capable officer and was going to bring much to the table as we moved on. But one of the things that stood out about Cameron is that he was also a very dedicated family man. His wife, Angela, he met here at the Fishers Police Department. He has a son, Ike, and then also Wayne and Garrett, who are, Wayne is here tonight as well in the back of the room. Cameron promoted quickly. Within 3 years, he promoted to sergeant. In 2000 and 2005, he promoted to lieutenant, and he served many roles within our agency. Obviously, initial high-risk patrol, but quickly became a field training officer, and really more importantly to our younger officers, became a mentor. His career took a turn where he was able to work in drug task force, special investigations, firearms instructor, fusion center, computer crimes unit, which is where he's currently assigned now. And then he also oversees our chaplaincy program. Two things that really stand out about Cameron's career. One is that early on, I remember we pulled up in the old Marsh parking lot at 116th and Aliceville to talk, and he said, you know, we need to do more support for our K-9 program, and I think it's time that as an agency, we start to think about standing up our own SWAT or emergency response team. And while I certainly supported the effort, I knew that I was not the guy who would take the lead with that, but supported Cameron in that effort. And 17 years ago, we founded our SWAT team, or what we call our emergency response team, and it's because of the efforts of what Cameron brought to the table, and it was really a big deal. At that time in the county, Carmel was the only other SWAT team, and they continue to work together today. The other thing that really stands out about Cameron is that as a mentor, he really cares about our people in our agency. He is very, very passionate about law enforcement rights, and keeping our people safe. And that's what makes him a great lieutenant, and takes care of that computer crimes unit, and is an asset to our community. So with that, Cameron, appreciate your 20 years of service, and hopefully you got many more to come. Thank you.
Next up, I believe we have Chief Arusa from the Fire Department.
Members of the City Council, Mayor, it's a pleasure to be here tonight to recognize two of your firefighters with 20 years of service. And hopefully my IT friend is going to give me a hand here. Okay. That handsome young man there is Travis Seasting. Travis, will you come up? The job has not taken a toll on him at all. Travis has been a firefighter since 1997, January 2nd. He became a paramedic in 2001. He is currently assigned to B shift at Station 93 on Allisonville Road. His wife of 20 years is here. Heidi, raise your hand. I know you promised me you would not come up here. And Travis has 3 daughters, Sierra, 18, who is a combat medic in the Army, and Alexis, 16, and Skylar, 13. Raise your hand, girls. I know you won't come up. But Travis, thank you for your 20 years of service, and thank you to your family for sharing you with us over those 20 years. God bless you, brother. This handsome gentleman is Lieutenant Philip Mellencamp. Phil, come on down, please. Phil is a lieutenant on C shift at Station 93, also on Allisonville Road. Phil is a hazardous materials technician. That means when all the nasty stuff crashes on I-69, he's one of the first guys out there to try and save people and clean it up. He's one of our shift training officers. which means his exemplary skill level that he shares with the rest of our firefighters to help make them better. He loves his Second Amendment rights, and it is his 50th birthday, right?
50th birthday on Tuesday.
All right, all right. His wife Michael's here of 29 years. Come on, stand up. He has 2 daughters, Kaylee, 26, Madison, and 25, both college grads, and 2 adopted sons, Ari and AJ, both 10, who are at home watching the dog, right? Thank you for your service, brother. Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you, Chief. I believe we have one other service award from our engineering director, Jeff Hill.
All right, good. Good evening, Council. Jeff Hill, Director of Engineering, pleased to award Roger Riker with a service award for 20 years of dedication to the City of Fishers. As you well know, Fishers has grown up a lot over the years, and Roger has been instrumental in leading the charge with high-quality infrastructure inspections. And through thick and thin and lots of development and challenges, Roger's been that one consistent piece. And as he has bounced from Public Works and the engineering department, permitting inspections, and he's now here in engineering, he's been that one constant through all of these inspections and these efforts to make sure that Fishers has a well-built, easy to maintain asset. And so just really proud of the 20 years of service he's provided to Fishers. So thank you, Roger.
Congratulations, everybody, for your years of service to our community. We really appreciate everything you do for us. Moving on, no proclamation. It was Finance Committee. We didn't meet last week, so there's no report. Eric, do you have anything you want to add?
That's correct. We had no meeting, but we will be back on regular scheduled agenda for February.
Great. You're missing the good part. You shouldn't leave. Thank you. Homework.
Hey, John, it's the finance report that gets them every time.
Yeah, you bring up the word finance report, everybody runs. Yeah, way to go, Eric.
Clear room.
I know. Well, we'll keep on moving. Hope everybody can file out quietly so we can keep the moving going, please. Next item on the agenda is election of city council officers. And if the council doesn't mind, if I can just say a few words before we go through this process. 5 years ago, I joined the council along with Pete, and David was with us as well at that particular time. And certainly if you picture where we're at 5 years ago as a community and where we're at now, it's certainly been one heck of a ride. We've worked together and built a vibrant downtown. We've done a number of economic development deals that have been spectacular. Launch Fishers, like I said, talk all night long. We got IKEA coming. We got Topgolf coming. We got Sun King coming. We could just keep talking and talking. State-of-the-art infrastructure, 106th Street interchange. If you had an opportunity to take that, that's a wonderful addition. And I can sit here and say many things about all the positive things we've done, and I try not to I always look at life as kind of an automobile. The windshield's the future, and I look at that, and the rearview mirror is kind of the small of the past. I don't spend a lot of time dwelling on that, but it's been an absolute pleasure in this process. Had a lot of fun. I want to thank our staff here that do a great job. We also, during this period, elected our first mayor, and I would say Mayor Fadden is certainly one of the best mayors, if not in the state, probably the country. And certainly want to thank the council for their friendship and their leadership. We've all we get along well, we work well together, we come up with good ideas, we collaborate. It's been an exciting time for us. And it's a real exciting time. Things are going to keep on going. We're going to keep the foot on the gas. We're going to keep moving forward very quickly. We've got some great people that are stepped forward in a leadership capacity for this year. Two individuals, David and Todd. David will nominate here momentarily, then we'll nominate Todd. These are two great gentlemen, also great friends, and looking forward to their leadership and as we continue to work together as a council. So without further ado, I would like to make a motion to elect David George as our next city council president. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. David?
Thank you very much, John.
You want to switch seats here?
Oh, we can do that.
Might as well make it happen. Congratulations, my friend. You'll do a great job. Take this with you.
And while you're doing that, take a quick second, John, to thank you for your service this past year and the previous years as council leadership.
Well, it's been my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much. As I begin my one-year rotation, I wanted to thank Pete and John both for your leadership over the time that we've been a city and actually the time that we were a town together. And for everybody else, just appreciate your trust and confidence for the next year. I think Fishers is a great place to live. Obviously, the mayor, the day-to-day staff, and really the residents. We do some things up here to make votes, but I think it's the residents really make it a great place to live. So with that, we will move forward with the agenda. And Chris, I did have one question. We were going to make a change to...
We need to
Nominate Todd.
See, I'm messing up already.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Congratulations, Todd.
Sorry about that, Todd. I didn't mean to do that.
All right. Got a former president on each side.
Yeah, I know. Chris, real quick with the consent agenda on the city council appointments, we were going to make one change to the EDC that we had listed. Do I need to pull that, vote on it separately, or?
Let's just say the appointment that you're going to make on the record. So it'll be the board appointments as were listed in the exhibit with the additional change that you're going to propose, the amendment that you're going to propose.
Okay. Someone want to make that motion?
Well, so if I understand what I just heard, so I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, but we're going to remove item B from the consent agenda.
No,
No,
that's
just
not
remove
correct.
the
So
EDC.
Oh, the EDC appointment to go back and interview a couple candidates that have come to light? Is that
That's
what we
right.
decided?
That's right.
Okay, so I guess my motion would be to approve the consent agenda as listed. We're going to remove the EDC appointment due to some other folks who have put their names in there, and there will be some council people conducting some interviews over the next month. Hopefully we'll get it back on the agenda for the following month.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by John. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'm sorry, Rich.
I'm going to abstain
Okay.
from the consent primarily because item D.
Okay. Note that.
Which item, Rich?
Item D. So, number 8.
Good evening. My name is Taylor Navarre. I'm a planner here with the Community Development Department. The item before you tonight is a request by staff to have council initiate a rezone of property located on the East 106th Street and Hague Road. To give a location here, it's 2 parcels, and it is east of Hague Road and a little bit west of the new I-69 interchange there. It is currently zoned I-1 and currently has a residence on the property over the 2 parcels, taking up about 11, slightly shy of 12 acres there. The current zoning, the I-1 zoning, just a couple of examples of the uses allowed currently: fuel station, low-intensity industrial and manufacturing, as well as vehicle service repair and retail there. Again, this area is in close proximity to the new I-69 exit, so we're looking to kind of get ahead of the game here and looking to rezone it to C1 Commercial Office District. Uses allowed there would focus on offices such as financial, medical, and general office uses. We feel that office uses are more in line with the city's 2040 comprehensive plan and would better fit the overall uses there along the 106 corridor. The current adjacent property to the east is also zoned C1. It's a office use there as well, with the parcel to the west being currently zoned agricultural, and residential borders the north on 106th Street. So with that, staff would recommend the council adopt a resolution tonight to initiate the rezone process. It would then kick it over the 30 days and go to public hearing at the Plan Commission in March. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have tonight.
Any questions? The only thing I had, I know if that's kind of the area that I'm familiar with, and I know that some of the residents are very interested as 106th has opened up. So I think this is something that can be welcomed. The only thing, once we go to Plan Commission, it'll be interesting to hear as the residents go through the public hearing, because commercial can be a lot of different things, but through that process, there's a list of things that are listed in commercial, but those can be stricken, so to speak. So as we go through that process, what would come back could possibly be commercial, but then also other uses that would not be in there. But it would be a market difference from what's there now with the industrial. So I know that when it comes back, we can take a look at that, what happens when you guys hear it at the Plan Commission. And if there's nothing else, is there a motion?
Make a motion.
To approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody against? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving to item number 9.
Hi, good evening. For the record, my name is Kevin Stutz. I'm a planner in the Department of Community Development. The city would actually is looking to initiate a voluntary annexation of 9 lots that were formerly a part of the Springdale Estates. Each of these lots were a part of or a portion for the 116th Street improvements as well as the IKEA Way improvements. So tonight we are asking that council hold first and second reading as well as public hearing on this item. To give you a little bit of a timeline, we would return in February with the fiscal plan and third reading for approval of these 9 lots. Also in February, Thompson Thrift would initiate the remaining lots outlined here in white for first and second reading and a public hearing on those, and then all of these properties would be wrapped up in March, completed with the voluntary annexation. So if you have any questions regarding this portion of it, I feel happy to answer those for you.
Thanks, Kevin. Any questions? If not, is there a motion? We need to have public hearing. Let me open it up for public hearing. Still getting used to this.
That's all right.
And seeing no one, Jennifer, you could note that no one spoke at the public hearing portion. Any further questions?
I'll go ahead and make a motion
Okay.
to have first and second reading, I guess is what we're doing, correct? We still have to take it to third reading.
That's correct.
So I guess just have first
That's
reading.
first reading.
That's right.
We have, so have first reading.
Okay. Thank you, Pete. Then item number 10, Mayor, you said that that was going to be pulled for tonight.
That's correct.
Okay. Then Dale, item number 11, nickel plate.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Dale Davis. I'm a planner with the Department of Community Development. The next item before you is a set of text amendments to our nickel plate code. Last time you saw me, I was also talking about amendments to our nickel plate code. One thing that followed our rezone of the 3 areas adjacent to the nickel plate was substantial interest in residential conversions. So people taking existing single-family homes and then trying to put a business in them. And that is not really the intent of the nickel plate. And being that it is a form-based code, if somebody finds the right property with the right use, in theory, it could go into one of those existing homes. So this set of amendments is intended to make that much more difficult. We're actually taking out the residential conversion language, and we're requiring a little bit stricter parking standards and a series of other changes with minimum square footage, the parking standards, and then some waivers are also being added just in case we don't need as much parking for a given business. So there's a lot of small changes to accomplish this overall goal of making it more difficult to turn one of these parcels into a business. We want to encourage redevelopment. We want to encourage reinvestment. So these changes would not prohibit somebody from purchasing properties, assembling properties, doing something new, mainly of an office nature, but it would prevent somebody from buying an existing home and then making that into a business. So if there's any questions on the specific provisions of the ordinance here, I'm happy to answer those.
Any questions? Yeah, Rich.
Dale, just clarification. I'm for limiting what you're suggesting. I guess my question is about the minimum office square footage. I think I noted that it was 5,000 square feet, and I guess my question is, could a smaller business that I guess was professional in nature, are we at a size that becomes more difficult for a small business to locate in there? That was my only question.
And that was done intentionally because with our nickel plate review process, we have a waiver in there that allows for a 25% dimensional waiver, which would take them down to 3750, which may be more reasonable for some of these smaller lots. If you want us to consider a smaller size than that, we can certainly look at that, but that was the intent with that thought.
If you're looking for a comment, I would say maybe a little bit smaller, but I understand what you're trying to do. I can think of professional uses that would be just a couple of, 2,000 or 3,000 square feet that I think we would like to see, or they'd be acceptable, but maybe it's done through a variance or something like that. I guess I'd rather not have to go through the extra process.
And I guess we're going to see this back at Planning Commission, Rich, and then we're going to get it back in for public comment, and so we're going to go through that process. So I understand where you're going with that, and I think we get a pretty good chance to vet all that, but I guess be prepared, for Planning Commission next month.
We will be.
Any other questions? Is anyone in the audience here for this case or the next one? Okay. If anyone is, February 1st is the Planning Commission, and then it would come back on February 20th. So if not, then is there a first reading? First reading?
Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. Number 12, Rick Farnham and Jason Armour. Maybe not Jason.
Good evening. For the record, Rick Farnham, Director of Water Quality Division for the Department of Public Works. Before you for your consideration and approval is a interlocal agreement between Hamilton County Drainage Board and the City of Fishers. It's for a project that's designed and being constructed by, or would be constructed by, the county in a regulated area. The genesis really of the city's involvement is an issue in the right-of-way on Brook School Road, right outside of the Anchorage subdivision, which is a regulated area. We have water there that partially floods the road from time to time, also is being conveyed into the neighborhood. Between the water that's in the neighborhood already and the water that's coming off the right-of-way, we're overloading the existing county regulated drain that's there. So it makes sense really for us to participate in this project. We did look at alternatives. Staff looked at alternatives of trying to work just in the right-of-way itself and develop a route for the stormwater to travel along the east side of Brook School Road. It really didn't prove to be cost-effective to go that route, so really it works best for the city, cost-effective basis, and also the least intrusive solution to move this stormwater to kind of piggyback onto the county's project in this case. So we're asking for the council's approval of this interlocal agreement and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement. And I'd be happy to answer any questions for you.
Any questions? If there are no questions, is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Made by Pete, seconded by Todd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you, Rick.
Good to see you.
Mayor, anything else for the cause? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Yeah, you did it on purpose.